Saudi Arabia has long been a key player in the Middle East, with its oil reserves, religious significance, and strategic alliances making it a critical nation. Given these factors, it's understandable why the king's travels are kept under wraps. His ability to navigate international relations and his role in the global energy market make him a target for those looking to disrupt the status quo. While he is often seen at summits or during official meetings, it's not unusual for his movements to be highly coordinated and protected. His role as a custodian of the two holy mosques also places him at the center of a spiritual and political web that requires even greater discretion when it comes to travel. The secrecy surrounding his travel is essential for ensuring that the stability of the country remains intact. It is important to prevent any exposure that could make him or Saudi Arabia vulnerable to destabilizing forces, whether internally or externally. In this context, the king's every move is carefully planned, monitored, and protected. The logistics of King Salman's travel are a masterclass in security and secrecy. Unlike most heads of state who travel via public flights or charters, the king utilizes a fleet of private jets and secure vehicles that are designed to keep his movements hidden from the public eye. These aircraft are equipped with cutting-edge technology to ensure that his location remains undisclosed and that any potential threats can be countered swiftly. The jets in the king's fleet are reportedly not just for comfort, but for function as well. They include advanced communication systems, surveillance technology, and highly secure environments that allow for encrypted communication. The king and his entourage are constantly monitored, both in the air and on the ground, ensuring that no one can track their movements without clearance. These jets often travel on non-standard routes, bypassing major airways to avoid detection. The secrecy surrounding these aircraft is such that their actual configurations and details are never fully disclosed to the public, making it even harder for anyone to trace King Salman's travel plans. Even though these private jets represent one of the most visible aspects of his travel routine, much of the true operational details remain hidden. When King Salman travels abroad, it's not uncommon for him to take multiple aircraft, one for his closest aides and family, and another to transport additional security personnel and equipment. The coordination of these different planes ensures that if one aircraft is compromised, others remain secured on the ground. King Salman's movements continue to be closely guarded. While he may appear in a city for a meeting or event, his accommodations and transportation will be shielded from public view, making it nearly impossible to trace where he's been or where he is going. One of the most intriguing aspects of King Salman's travel is the way his team plans the routes he takes. These travel routes are not only carefully planned, but are constantly altered to avoid detection. While commercial flights follow regular paths determined by air traffic control, the king's private jets operate with a level of flexibility that allows them to take circuitous routes, sometimes flying under radar to ensure that they are not tracked by commercial flight tracking services. The king's security team works behind the scenes to ensure that no specific details about his travels are leaked. When traveling internationally, routes are frequently altered at the last minute, depending on intelligence reports and geopolitical factors. This might include avoiding airspaces known to be under surveillance or changing the flight plan mid-trip if there is any perceived threat. At times, the king's plane may even take off from a location other than his original departure airport, further complicating any attempts to trace his whereabouts. Landing is another element of secrecy. To avoid drawing attention, King Salman sometimes lands in smaller, less busy airports that are not major hubs. This minimizes the risk of attracting public or media attention, especially in countries where the king's visit could be controversial. In some cases, the king may choose to land in a country without announcing it publicly, only to have a diplomatic meeting arranged at the last minute to protect his whereabouts. The king's team utilizes multiple planes for different purposes. While one plane might carry the king, other jets might transport his security detail or other high-level officials. By dispersing his presence across multiple aircraft, King Salman's travel itinerary becomes even more difficult to pin down to keep the public and media guessing. The Saudi government often deploys carefully crafted cover stories when King Salman is traveling. These cover stories are essential in maintaining the appearance of normalcy and shielding the king from unnecessary attention. They can range from business trips to diplomatic missions, all designed to keep the media and international community focused on less sensitive aspects of the king's itinerary. One of the most common cover stories involves his religious duties. As a custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman's travels to Mecca and Medina, for example, are often used as a reason for international trips. These trips are seen as fulfilling his spiritual responsibilities rather than political ones, allowing for a level of discretion that would not be possible with a more formal state visit. By framing his travel as religious in nature, the government can avoid the type of scrutiny that would come with more traditional diplomatic visits. King Salman's visits to foreign countries are often presented as part of ongoing diplomatic efforts to strengthen relationships or discuss regional security. These official visits are often scheduled under the guise of bilateral talks, economic partnerships, or energy negotiations, with few details revealed to the public. This helps deflect any attention from the true nature of the trip, especially when the king is traveling to politically sensitive regions. The government also carefully controls the timing of announcements related to King Salman's travel. News outlets are briefed just before his departure or during the trip itself, but never in advance. This ensures that the exact timing and destinations remain unknown to the public. Technology plays a crucial role in safeguarding King Salman's travel. With the increasing sophistication of global intelligence networks and the ability of adversaries to track high-profile figures, the king's security detail relies on an array of high-tech systems to maintain secrecy and prevent any breaches. These technologies ensure that King Salman's movements remain hidden, even in the digital age where nearly every aspect of public life is tracked. Encrypted communications are a fundamental aspect of the king's travel routine. From the moment he leaves his residence to when he arrives at his destination, every conversation is encrypted to prevent any interception. This is vital for ensuring that sensitive information, as long as he remains one of the world's most powerful leaders, the mystery of his travels will likely continue to fascinate. But for now, we've peeled back the curtain on just a small part of how the king moves in secret. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the world's most secretive leaders. See you next time.